Around Town is brought to you by Eastern North Carolina Medical Group. Good health is music to our ears. With office locations at 1041 Noel Lane, Suite 105 in Rocky Mount, 10589 East NC Highway 97 in Joiners Crossing Shopping Center in Rocky Mount, 155 Nashville Commons Drive in the Food Line Shopping Center Plaza in Nashville, North Carolina, 1812 Glendale Avenue, Suite B in Wilson, North Carolina, 903 North Arundel Drive in Zebulon, North Carolina, as well as the ENCMG Lewisburg Oncology Clinic at 216 North Beckett Boulevard, Suite 5 in Lewisburg, North Carolina. Log on to encmg.com today to locate the office nearest you.
Welcome to Around Town, and Taylor Barker is hosting Small Business of the Month, and we are at Rocky Mount Radiator and Air Conditioning. We've got 3 generations of the Braswell family. We're going to introduce them in just a second. But folks, I want to tell you, I had no idea what goes on here. So you're in for a real treat. We're going to show you different stations, different things that are going on. But this is full service, and this is a place that brings business in from a huge geographic area, which we like when your local businesses are bringing in from the outside. And you've been here 90 years, June?
90 years, yes. Started in 1927.
And so you were second generation. It was your father?
Yes.
June Braswell, Brian Braswell, and Chuck Braswell.
And my husband before he died. Yes.
Okay. And when you were a little girl, do you remember your dad coming here with your dad?
Oh, yes. Well, he was downtown on the corner of Washington and Marigold. That was, at that time, all the car dealers were on Washington Street or there around. And so he was in a good location for what he did. And yeah, that's where I grew up, going by that shop from high school to grammar school, all the way through. So yes,
and so
way back.
So you truly, I mean, and Taylor, just thinking about this, I mean, you're the history of this area. You really are.
I guess. I guess I'm at that age now where I am.
Yeah, we certainly have learned a lot today, and we've only been here a few minutes.
Yeah, and how fun to have your son. I guess it's fun.
Yes.
Are you
good?
Yes. I couldn't have managed without him.
And grandson Brian.
And then Brian.
And Brian, after the banner, your grandmother was bragging on you. I'm sure that doesn't surprise you. But to have the new generation, Chuck, come in and if you're not moving, you're getting behind, right?
Absolutely,
That's right.
absolutely. We couldn't be happier to have Brian here on the force. He's brought a lot of youthful energy to our group that we needed. Frankly, every business needs that. And he's brought a lot of computer savvy techniques, and he's very smart at what he does, and he's a hard-working kid, and he's a go-getter. We're glad to have him.
I want you to share with everybody, when I said something to you about when I was looking at what you all give back to our community, and I told him I couldn't think of many things they don't give to and don't support. Tell us what you said about your granddad.
Well, we've got our feet in a lot of different areas in Rocky Mount, and a lot of it's behind the scenes, and it just kind of comes natural to us. We like people, we like helping people, we especially love kids, and I told you a while ago, I feel like I probably got that from my granddad, because I've always heard stories of how he would never charge a serviceman, never charge a preacher, give people the shirt off his back, literally, to help them out if they were down and out and they needed to have their car running. He would help them. He would do whatever he could to help any time. And I think we have a lot of that culture here still.
Well, that's incredible. And on behalf of the chamber, we'd like to thank you for your commitment to the community and just everything that you guys do, and look forward to the future of what you guys will continue to do.
Well, community involvement is important. You got to give back. You can't take and take and take without giving back. And if you're a taker of the community, you're not a community supporter.
Yes, sir.
And you have to support what's going on around here. We believe in Rocky Mount. That's why we're here, and that's why we made the investment to stay right here.
Yes, sir. Well, you're only in business for 90 years if you're doing something right, so.
I'd like to think so.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Well, June and Brian and Chuck, thank you. We're going to go to the banner presentation now. And then, Brian, you're going to tell us a little bit about how you're changing up things.
Absolutely.
Which will be exciting. And then we're going to go in the shop and you're going to teach us some stuff.
We're going to have some fun. We might put Taylor to work in the process.
Looking forward to it.
Be right back.
Okay, on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce of Rocky Mount, we're so pleased to be here. this sunny and breezy January afternoon to congratulate Rocky Mount Radiator for this wonderful award to be the Small Business of the Month here in Rocky Mount. So we're honored on behalf of the Chamber to provide this award to Rocky Mount Radiator. With that, I'll hand it over to Taylor to add a few comments.
Thank you, Marty. On behalf of the Rocky Mount Area Chamber of Commerce Small Business Committee, we would like to present the January Small Business of the Month Award to Rocky Mount Radiator and Air Conditioning. And they have been in business for over 90 years, folks. Yes, 90 years they have been dedicated to this community, and is very deserving. With this award, you are now in the running for the Small Business of the Year award that will be presented at our banquet in June.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. And if you have a few words to say, go ahead.
We're honored to receive this award. Love Rocky Mount, love the community here. We're vested here. We're not going anywhere. We've been here for 90 years. Looking forward to 90 more.
All right.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Well done.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hi folks, we're back here at Rocky Mount Radiator and Air Conditioning, and right now we're going to be speaking with Brian Braswell, who is Chuck Braswell's son. And Brian, tell us a little bit about yourself and how we saw it on the wall over there where you played baseball at Campbell, coming out of Northern Nash. Tell us a little bit how you got back here and what it has meant to you to be back here working with your dad.
Obviously, I've grown up in here. I was here as a kid. I worked some, but I never really took it as serious as I have in the last few years. I got out of college and really started falling in love with our trade and what we do. This is not something that everybody can do or will do. A lot of the things we do are dirty, grimy jobs, and we're trying to bring a little new atmosphere to it and kind of grow with the changes and seeing a lot of success with that.
Oh, well, I understand that, and I'm sure that you can show the other folks around here a little bit more on the technology side, as how to work things as opposed to how things used to be run a little bit, I would suppose.
Right. We've done and put a lot of money and time invested into our cataloging program, and it's mainly for our use, but it's all over. And we've got thousands and thousands of different part numbers listed to cross-reference back to our numbers here. And it's really allowed us to branch out and serve a much larger area than we ever have before.
Well, great. That certainly is interesting. Tell us a little bit, what do you do here at Rocky Mount Radiator and Air Conditioning?
So we obviously have a full service side of our shop over here. We have a complete heavy duty radiator shop, which we're only one of few in the nation. Mm-hmm. We've got a heavy duty distribution center and parts warehouse, and we deliver parts from Richmond, Virginia to Wilmington, from New Bern all the way to Greensboro. And we ship out products every day as well.
Oh, wow, that certainly is interesting, isn't it, Gene?
And the new technology, like the clean engine stuff and whatnot, how is that impacting and kind of changing what you do?
Right, a section of our business now is called Carolina Clean Diesel, and we clean diesel particulate filters. Every 2007 newer diesel engine has these filters to protect the environment, and it's important that you clean them. They're very expensive filters, and if they're not cleaned properly, the trucks don't run correctly, you may have problems down the road. So we remove these filters, take them through our thermal pneumatic process, and make sure they're about within 93% of what new filters are as far as clean is concerned.
And y'all invest in a lot of really expensive state-of-the-art equipment, so you can do it quickly, correctly, efficiently, and whatnot, right?
Yes, and we probably would more so, but they give me a hard time, and each time I say, hey, I need to buy some new equipment. But they've really embraced it. My mom's done I can't thank her enough for letting me reach out and try new things and take these risks, and they're paying off, and we're very happy with that.
How long have you been in this location?
We've been here since 1993, I believe.
And we need to say 550 South Westland Boulevard. So y'all need to come, remember that. And again, I am absolutely amazed as I look around. I really did think y'all were radiator and air conditioning.
We're a little bit of everything.
There are not many things you can't do, right?
That's right.
Okay. Well, we're going to go around the different stations with your dad, but Brian, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is James Neville. We call him Jay. He's got a lot of experience. He's our diagnostic specialist around here and our electrical specialist. Drivability issues, check engine lights, all the hard wiring jobs, the electrical jobs, a lot of the dash jobs that have to come apart and be put back together again. He's the man for the job. Best in the business.
How long have you been here, Jay?
I've been here a little over 2 years and been doing off-road cars for 20 years.
Great. I like that make sure you do the right thing and no matter what?
We do a lot of multitasking around here. Like I said earlier, he's actually got 3 vehicles at one time that he's servicing, and we do that quite frequently. Everybody you see here has got more than one task going on at the same time. But we're checking this car, for example, for check engine light codes, and it actually had 5 different codes in it. And the bottom line is all those codes stem from that one problem that he's got, which is most likely a blown head gasket. It's not what people want to hear, but it is what it is. There are ways to get around that, but frankly, at the shape that that's in, somebody's got to take the motor apart, put a head gasket on it. We can do that as well. It's a pricey job, but it's just one of those things. It's a lot cheaper than buying a new car.
And that's part of your philosophy too. You fix things. You make sure that they're done right, because you know people don't have disposable income to go buy new cars.
We do. Our company is service first, sales second. Now don't get me wrong, we do like selling, but we're a service-owned company. We're a service company. That's what drives us to get better and better and better. And we continue to reinvent ourselves with different service jobs. Back in the early stages of our company, we did a few things. We did radiators, we did heaters, we did mufflers at one time. Then we expanded into air conditioning. Then we expanded into heavy duty. Then we expanded it into trucks. And then we started installing air conditioners on cars that didn't come with air conditioners. And then we added state inspection somewhere down the line, which gave us lots of jobs like this, the check engine light jobs and all the other drivability issues that come along with a state inspection. About the only thing we don't do here is tires and transmissions and alignments. This is a tube and shell heat exchanger. We're one of the few places that you'll find anywhere in the country that can do that. This is a Caterpillar generator radiator that we'll be rebuilding here. These 3 jobs are waiting to get in the shop. As soon as we get the jobs out today or tomorrow, these are the next 3 in line. This is off a Raleigh city bus. So our footprint goes deeper than you think. This is a nice unit. They use several of these, and we work on them on a regular basis. We're able to rebuild them, restore them, put them back like new so the people in Raleigh can ride the bus and be happy. I want to introduce you guys to 30-year employee Sam Barnes. He's been with us a long time.
Shake your hand.
This is Miss Jean Allman's kitchen, and this is Taylor Barnes.
Taylor Barnes. Hey, nice to meet you, Taylor.
Sam is the backbone of the service shop around here. He's been to numerous conventions with us. He's had as much training on air conditioning repairs as anybody that you'll find anywhere around. He's the best air conditioning guy I've ever had, the best in the business. Sam is the man. When it comes to an air conditioning, a tough job, he's the guy we go to get it done.
And you do all size vehicles. I mean, are there air conditioners on these, or what are you doing on these?
Yes. Tell them what we're doing on this truck.
I do all the heavy stuff, air conditioning repair, compressor jobs. On this particular one, we are doing a compressor job on it, and also it has a bad hose. We do make 90% of our own hoses, but these type trucks are terrible on compressors. You'll get about 3 to 4 years service out of them. Then they have generally, the biggest thing is seal leakage on it. And like I said, most of the bigger stuff, you see leaks, compressor leaks, just about that. And same thing with tractors and all that. Mostly just compressor leaks. You rarely ever see a condenser leak on them. But it's this condition they're used in and the abuse they take. Air conditioning doesn't hold up very well on anything heavy equipment-wise because the environment you use it in.
You like the job, don't you?
Yeah, I started out working on cars when I was 6. Cause my daddy was a mechanic, so I started learning it around about 6, learning tools, sizes and stuff like that, and been in it all my life.
You probably have to have continuing ed too, because there are changes, and so if you got to stay current.
Yes, of course. I went to Wilson Tech for about 2 years because I knew without any certificates or anything, you couldn't get a decent job. So I did go to Wilson Tech and did get some classes under my belt, and that helped me along too.
You mentioned continuing education. We're big on that. Our guys, we actually require them to have so many hours of continuing education, just like a real estate agent or a banking industry, a doctor. We have to. The vehicles that we work on are getting more and more and more complex. And the way we worked on them 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago even, it doesn't apply today in many cases.
Yeah, because mostly everything is ran through a computer these days, and it's just truly amazing.
Even these trucks are computer driven. And these tractors, as a matter of fact.
We're gonna drop it down.
The air bubbles mean leaks, and we hope he doesn't have any if he's done a job properly. Actually, the other fellow put it in.
Yeah.
So we're checking for leaks, and air bubbles mean leaks, and as you can see, we have no leaks here. We'll let it sit under pressure for several minutes to make sure it's airtight and watertight, and once it's finished, we'll prep it, we'll scrub it down, we'll dry it, wash it out good, get all the residue off of it, prep it for painting, and it'll be ready to go. Okay, I just wanted to introduce you guys to Garland Smitherman. He's got 30-some years in the radiator repair business, and he's one of the best in the business as well. Garland is our trainer. He trains new people that come into here to go to work, a lot of the young guys that come here. He also does radiator repair shop training for us, and that's another little niche business that we do where we bring in people from all over the country and train them how to do our trade.
All over the country?
Well, all over the world, actually. We had a fellow from Ireland to spend a couple of weeks with us. We have a lot of Canadians come through here. People next door don't want to teach people how to do what they do. So, you know, they'll get on a plane and come 4 or 5 hours flying for us to teach them, and we teach them everything we do so they can go back and make a living doing what we do.
Now, how do you advertise for that?
It's all on the web.
All on the web?
If you Google up radiator repair training, we'll come up just like that. We're the only place in North America that I know of that does that for a job.
And Garland, what were you doing when we walked up on you?
What have we done? We've taken the old coil out and we put the new coil in this radiator, and we've resorted everything. What I'm doing, I'm going back, buff it up, cleaning it up, making it look like factory, trying to get the most factory as you can.
In this particular instance, the new replacement either may not be available or it may be astronomically priced, and the cost-effective thing for us to do is to rebuild it.
So we just assembled this whole radiator, tanks, side strap, fan shroud. We've cleaned it and resorted everything back together.
You like your job, don't you?
Been doing it a long time.
Well, I bet it's fun to teach people, too.
It is, you know. Sometimes they teach us something when they come in, you know.
Never too old to learn.
Yeah, never too old to learn.
And isn't it exciting that there's now a new generation of the Braswell family joining in?
Young people taking over.
So old people like us can start cruising a little bit.
So we can start taking time off.
Well, what you got over here, Garland?
This is a big truck aluminum unit that has been hit. Holes were knocked in it. And what we have to do, we have to use a special type repair kit, epoxy kit on this. And we have to lay it on there and we have to let it cure out. Then we'll retest it and send it out the door.
So it's never boring here. You've always got something new, something challenging.
Something different all the time.
Every day presents a new challenge in a radiator shop. There's nothing too big, there's nothing too small. If you'll notice when we walk back up there, there's a sign on the wall that says, yes, we can. And that's the mentality that we have. Yes, we can do it. That's the way we make a living.
Well, with
here.
people like Garland, you can.
And this over here is the finished product. After we dry them, we paint them, and we're ready to be picked up.
So that is this.
Well,
end
actually,
up
this
like
one will be like that one. We will not paint this one because this is all aluminum unit and we don't usually paint these. But when we finish this, it's going to be just like that.
Okay.
We also have numerous other stations here for cleaning and repairing different types of heat exchangers. I want you to bring your attention to the back here. And Steve is actually working on a pretty big unit. This is a Caterpillar unit. It's also a D8 or a D9 Caterpillar genset unit, to be honest with you. And when people talk about rotting out a radiator, that's about as big as they come. There are larger units than that, but we actually have it disassembled, and you know sometimes you have to climb a ladder to get into your work, and that's what he's doing here. Quite an interesting project. Not many shops are equipped to do that kind of thing. If you'll notice, we have an overhead bridge crane to take the back-breaking work out of radiator repair, and safety's big here with key on safety, steel toe shoes, eye protection, safety protection, eye wash station. We have a shower back here in case someone were to get a chemical spill. We label our chemicals. We recycle all of our materials. We're big on safety.
What are the big vats with green liquid?
Glad you asked. All these are to test radiators for leaks.
Oh,
that's how they're cleaned in these other stations over here. They're tested, they're repaired, they're dried, painted, put back in here to go back in service.
Different challenges. I just enjoy working here. I've known Chuck about 25 years.
You like working with me?
Yeah, I like working with Garland.
make sure that we're lifting properly. That includes different types of hydraulic lifts, electric lifts, bridge cranes, pull cranes. We got a half dozen different lifting stations, so we're not having to manhandle these heat exchangers.
We have had a ball. I've learned a lot, hadn't you, Taylor?
A whole lot.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just a great place to work. It's a great Rocky Mount small business, and we're just really proud of y'all. But your wife, Tammy's joined us, and I think it would be very appropriate. Your mom, your wife, brag on her.
Absolutely. You know what? I want to introduce you all to Tammy. I tell everybody all the time, she's the brains of the operation, and we're the brawn. But Tammy's the backbone that holds the office together. She's in charge of our accounting. She's in charge of our accounts receivable. She pays all the bills. She writes all our checks, our paychecks. We couldn't be any more blessed to have her than we are. We're so happy to have her. She's been here almost 30 years, I think, and she has served many capacities for our company, but she's the backbone of what we do. It's as simple as that, and without her, there's no me.
We're definitely
I mean, she's a huge part of what we do around here, and I couldn't imagine working without her. So I really mean that.
And you're a hometown girl too, aren't you, Tammy?
I am. Been raised in Dorchester and North Carolina, and been here my whole life. Married Chuck back in 1986.
I believe. Yes, indeed.
We just celebrated our 30th anniversary.
Well, congratulations.
And you know, I'm really proud to be a part of this company because, you know, and I'm proud of Chuck and Brian both for what they've done and how hard they've worked. I've seen him come in and just grow as a young man into, you know, a really good business person, and I'm really proud of him. And you know, the things that we are doing and the exciting things ahead for us, you know, we're looking really good for him for his future.
And in the future too. I mean, we're hoping 90 years. What, this perpetuity? I mean, this is. You plan to keep this going and going and going, right?
Oh yeah.
And then you'll have kids and they'll come in and then
That sounds real good.
And one final thing, which we've talked about earlier, but community service, you all, and I hear that Tammy was telling me that your daughter and you are going to be coaching.
Exactly right. You know, one thing I do in my spare time is we're a sports family. Brian played baseball in college. Our daughter Betsy played softball in college. I coached both of the kids since they were 5 years old, and that's a big part of our life. Spent a lot of time together. Been all over the country playing ball, and I'm very fortunate to have done that. And yeah, I might have lost my mind, but I will be coaching softball again, and this time my daughter will be helping me. We'll be at Rocky Mount Academy in a couple of weeks coaching varsity girls softball.
Gosh, well, you just keep on giving back, and I mean, reading what you've done with communities and schools, my sister's house. You were president of the Rotary Club.
The Nash Rocky Mount Rotary Club, yes indeed.
You do teaching at Nash Community College. I mean, the list, folks, just goes on and on and on.
Absolutely. You know, we just enjoy giving back. I'm fortunate to have people like Tammy and Brian here to pick up the slack if I have to be away. But in any family-owned business, you have to be a part of it. You have to be married to it. You have to be a part of what's going on. You have to have your feet on the ground. You got to hit the door running every morning when you turn the key. The show's on, you're the showman. You got to do what you got to do.
And great employees, too.
We're a family-owned company, but it's a family business. We couldn't do it without our employees. They're great guys. These guys know what they're doing, and ladies, they enjoy their job. We try to treat them like family, and we want them all to retire here.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you. And congratulations to all of you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for having us.
Sure. Thank you. See you next week.
Around Town is brought to you by Eastern North Carolina Medical Group. Good health is music to our ears. With office locations at 1041 Noel Lane, Suite 105 in Rocky Mount, 10589 East NC Highway 97 in Joiners Crossing Shopping Center in Rocky Mount, 155 Nashville Commons Drive in the Food Line Shopping Center Plaza in Nashville, North Carolina, 1812 Glendale Avenue, Suite B in Wilson, North Carolina, 903 North Arundel Drive in Zebulon, North Carolina, as well as the ENCMG Lewisburg Oncology Clinic at 216 North Beckett Boulevard, Suite 5 in Lewisburg, North Carolina. Log on to encmg.com today to locate the office nearest you.